In this video, I'd like to talk about how I teach cut time. First thing, I would not call it cut time when you first begin. Instead, call it 2-2, the time signature. It's much easier if you teach them that way because hopefully they're starting to understand how the time signatures work. And they know that the top number tells them, the 2 tells them that they get 2 beats per measure, and the bottom note of the 2 tells them that the half note gets the beat. Please do not teach this as 4/4 but twice as fast. I know a lot of my peers do this, but it does not lead to a true deep understanding of cut time. And when they see cut time, they kind of freak out and tap their toe really fast. That gets their heart rate going, and then they don't clap very well. Just start over like a new concept, because it really is a new concept to read with different ratios, okay? 3/2 and 4/2 are also easy to explain. Just make sure they know what the top number means. 3 beats per measure, 4 beats per measure, 2 on the bottom, half note gets the beat. And then the kids themselves make the leap. I usually don't have to connect this for them, but the kids themselves make the leap to say, hey, Mr. Tyree, 2-2 is a lot like 2-4, and 3-2 is a lot like 3-4, and 4-4 is a lot like 4-4. And then they start to see things like, oh, a half note is basically half note in cut time equals a quarter note in 4/4. But I don't say that to them because they need to be able to make that bridge themselves and not have that be the one and only way that they can read in cut time. So now when I do cut time, I have the metronome on at 66. So have them do that. And then their toe tap is like this. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and you just have them do that. And they're like, that's so easy. Oh my gosh, I thought it was going to be hard. And then clap half notes for them. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and have them echo. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and have them echo. So you want to then go dive into number 92, and then they'll be like, oh my gosh, this is so easy, because it really is. I've written the first cut time exercises significantly easier than everything that's come before it on purpose, because so often kids and band directors have just this big fear of cut time, and it's really not hard if you approach it like it's something brand new and you start all the way back from the beginning of cut time, the easiest of rhythms. So here's 92, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and make sure they're using their gun. 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2 and. After you do that, have them do it while you've written it up on the board, or shined it up on the board with your projector if you need to. Write the counts in there. I usually use, for rest, I use parentheses, and for notes that are longer, I tie them together. So I'll show you that in the book. Like if you look at the numbers, it will have the counts written under some of them, so you can see how I rhythmically analyze some of the exercises. After they're rocking and socking on half notes, whole notes, rest, stuff like that, then go ahead and move on and teach them quarter notes. Again, please don't equate it back to 4/4. Just say, this is how a quarter note works in cut time or in 2/2. So you're going to say, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then have them echo. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, have them echo it back to you. Just like we've done before. And then after you've done all that echoing and they feel pretty solid with it, go through the modeling process on number 95. And I've shown you a lot of modeling, so you know how to do it. And then make sure they're using their gun while you do it. And then when they do it for the first time, shine it up on the projector or write it up on the board if you need to, and point to each note as they do it. And then let them finally do it without any aid. And after they do it with all the down-up stuff, then after they feel pretty good about it, they've got their toe tapping, they're not double tapping like they were with eighth notes, then go and say 1 and 2 and use that method. Then when you move on to 3/2, tell them that the top number tells you 3 beats per measure, bottom number tells you the half note gets the beat. Check out the clapping videos on the YouTube if you want to see examples of 3/2. just use the same method we have for all new exercises, where you model, point to it on the board, and then have them do it alone. When students see a dotted whole note in 3-2, sometimes that will freak them out. They're like, well, I've never seen a dotted whole note in my life. Just show them it equals 3 beats like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. And be really particular about releasing that on 1, because it's just another one of those things. The kids mess up on rests and they mess up on long notes. So if you can establish when a long note is released, then you will be much more successful. After that, then teach them 4-2. All these, like, they follow very logically. If you've already taught 4-4, 3-4, 2-4, 6-8, 9-8, all that stuff, then you go through and you start teaching 2-2, 3-2, 4-2. To be like, oh, I get the pattern. It's starting to make sense. So when you teach 4-2, tell them that the top number will show that you get 4 beats per measure, and then the 2 on the bottom tells them that the half note gets the beat. And again, if you want to see examples of the 4-2 clapping, then just go check out the YouTube channel and listen to the 4-2 clapping to see how that works if you're confused at all. A rhythm that students don't see very often is the brev, or the double whole note. Sometimes they'll freak out with that, but just show them equals 4 beats like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And it's just like, you and I can say it out loud, it's just like a whole note in 4-4. Now, I wouldn't teach it like that. I would let them come to the conclusion that it's like a whole note in 4-4, because so often we force that on them because maybe that's how we understood it or somebody taught it to us that way. But they can just learn the new ratios. They can just learn that the half note gets the beat, and they can actually have a better, deeper rhythmic understanding than you or I did using the older methods. So again, refer to the extensive list of clapping videos if you come across any questions of how to clap some of these special rhythms in this whole method.